What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a hot damn minute, but your girl is back. Hey, YT, what's going on? It's the Queen Josie, and I am back to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, one of my favorite shows, y'all. My favorite shows. And this is gonna be episode 2, season 2, episode 1. Y'all, it's gonna be season 2, episode 1. Sorry about that. I know y'all like, what is she on? Child. Water. I need some carbs in my life. Anyway, so let's get into this. The name of this episode is called Melody's Special Delivery. And it starts off with Mel, which is one of my favorite characters on the show. Her name is Melody, aka Mel. It starts off with Mel all just beautified. She's all dolled up, and this hair color that she has on is so beautiful. I do know that in the past episodes she was more into the platinum blonde and the blonde look, which is all right on her, but this color right here really is beautiful on her. Like her skin tone, her eyes, just everything just popped. So if she ever watched this, Mel, that color is bomb. Keep it. So she's standing there all beautified, all glammed up, and she's revealing that she's taking her pregnancy photos. So that's like the start of the episode, the start of the season is her taking her pregnancy photos. And she's so beautiful. Then all of a sudden you see Martell, her husband, hand grab, like, come around her belly, holding the belly, holding the baby. And, they're happy. And as everyone know, in the past, Martell has cheated on Mel, done the fool. But now they're back together. They're basically at this moment talking about how he's realizing a lot of things that he did even more, which I strongly believe that Martell always knew. I mean, he knew. Let's not be stupid. He knew his intentions and knew what he was doing. But he realized the reality of it. You get what I'm saying? The reality of it. It's one thing when you're just out there doing what you're doing and you know what you're doing, but then when you see the reality of it, it's like, wait a minute, damn, I shouldn't be doing this. It really opens your eyes out to things. And he really realized how much he hurted not just Mel, but his family, and how big of an impact that was, and how negative and toxic it was. Okay, now with that being said, a lot of people is like, whatever, Martell, how many times have we rode this boat with you and you went on and did the fool again? Me personally, y'all, just watching him, watching his body language, watching the way that he moved, how he wouldn't speak on certain things, how he wouldn't let certain things bother him, and just the things that he said and the way that he moved. I believe him this time. I believe that he really is trying to change, not just so he could save his marriage and for Mel, but he's changing for himself, because he realized that everything that he wanted and needed in life is right there in front of him anyway. So kudos to you, Martell. You bet not lets me down. Okay. So they're taking a photo shoot, which is very beautiful, and they're talking about how they're working things out. And one thing that Mel had mentioned was, she was like, to everybody that was like, oh, she's not going nowhere, you might as well be a psychic. I never did understand that time period when all the tea and stuff was being brought up about Martell and this girl, how everybody was so on the mistress side. I have never understood that, especially when the wife is a good wife. And Mel has been a good wife to Martell. Now I understand people saying that they was on the mistress side because she was there before Mel, because he so-called dated this girl before he dated Mel, allegedly. And if that is true, obviously it didn't work out. Obviously, he gave his last name to Mel for a reason. Whatever the reason is, hey, it is. And she got it, and she still got it. Boop, boop. So anyway, and so she mentioned that, and it's sad that as a wife, she has to defend herself on that topic, on top of the fact that she's pregnant, on top of the fact that she's healing, on top of the fact that she's also working things out with her husband. So that was just crazy to me that that she's still having to defend herself or and talk about why she stayed with her husband. It's her husband. Point blank to the period. Okay? And so we get introduced finally to Mel's brother. I've been hearing about her brother. I heard how handsome he was. Some people say that he's on the rainbow side. Some people say that he's not on the rainbow side. I don't know. I don't care what side he on. I support the rainbow community. He's a handsome brother to me. And he was talking about, you know, just checking in on his sister, making sure that she was okay and letting her know, you know, how people were getting at him like, hey, why you ain't checking Martell from back when he was cheating on your sister? Like, what's going on? People are so just, you don't know if this man has had a conversation with Martell. Just because it didn't happen on camera does not mean it may have happened. And because of that, I'm sure they're going to make it seem like it hasn't happened, whatever, and put it on camera. I don't know. But anyway, we finally got introduced to Mel's brother named Marcus. And I believe they have another sister as well. And I believe, if I heard it correctly, and please comment down below if I'm wrong, it's Mel. Mel is the youngest, and it's Marcus. And then they also have a sister. Now, Marcus and the sister got the same mother and father. And what they share with Mel is the father, okay? So they, all three of them have the same father. But Mel and Marcus just click as if they've been raised up together and they never was raised up together. So that's a beautiful thing. I know I have some siblings on my father's side that I haven't met, and I would love to meet them one day. And hopefully I can click with one of them like that. But I have been blessed with a gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful sister. So if I don't have the opportunity, hey, but if the opportunity presents itself, I'm in for it. So anyway, so they're talking about the dad, and Mel is basically talking about how, you know, she loves her dad and how she wishes her dad had more of a relationship, that they communicated more. But she's a lot like her dad. Her dad is an alpha male, sounds like he's always on a go. He's always into things. He's always doing things, just like Mel. And I feel like Mel uses that as an excuse for his absence. That way she can feel a balance there of why daddy is not communicating with me like I feel like he should, why my father isn't reaching out to me like I feel like he should. And I feel like, this is just my opinion by itself, is that she's using that as the excuse to heal that wound. So there's some deeper wounds in Mel that she herself needs to go to counseling for, especially when it comes to her father's relationship. And you can see the sadness and the painness. I can see it in her eyes. And I don't know if it's because my father hasn't been a part of my life and I'm knocking on 40. So but you can just read each other. You can just read. It's just like from one woman to another woman. We can always tell when someone is pregnant. Always. If you really look and with your womanly eye, you can always tell when someone's pregnant. So I mean, it's just one of those things. And hopefully Mel and her dad does, you know, heal their relationship and, you know, have that bond that she wishes for. If y'all keep wondering why I'm looking over here, I got my notes, okay? I didn't want to miss anything. Like I said, in this episode, it revealed and confirmed a lot. And it made me understand a lot about Mel and I'm about to say Martell, okay? I don't like Martell, I don't know. So anyway, the next scene is we get to Martell, and he's at home with the kids, and Martell is about to start working on the baby's room. And it's, I just love when, I just love baby's room. I just love the project of working on baby rooms. But anyway, so Martell invites his friend Cedric. Y'all, I don't like Cedric. Cedric is sneaky to me. It is something about that man. He looked like he always funky. It's just something about him. And y'all want to know the reason why? Here we go. So, as they put in the crib together, of course, Cedric started talking about how people are talking about Martell and this girl, okay? And Martell is like, yeah, man, I bet they are going off on me and da 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 da. So Cedric go ahead and go in and tell him how he be on these groups on Facebook and how they be posting all this stuff about Martell and the girl. And the girl has all these receipts and text messages, which I'm sure she do. Why is people still bringing up something that... Let me calm down. Let me calm down. It is 2020. People text each other. So they still bring up these text messages. They still bring up all these receipts and proof or whatever of Martell supposedly messing around with this girl. I guess the girl is trying to still say that Martell is messing around with her. But I just don't believe it this time around. Like, I honestly just... don't believe it. And if Martell, if you are a damn good actor, because you got me believing you this time. And anyway, what really got to me was how Sad was talking about how people are like down in Martell and got all these receipts of Martell, but he did not once say that he stood up for Martell. Not once. And you just see it in his eyes how he was fishing out information. And I'm like, you know what? Anyway, Cedric, you fake. And then coming to find out, he even know the girl. Now, this is how he said it. When he was in front of Martell, he was like, well, we know, the same people, saying that he's, cool with some friends of this girl. But then in the interview, in the interview part of the show, you know how they always do the interview, he admits that he knows the girl. That they used to hang out at this restaurant/bar, whatever, and he know the girl that way, and that he found out about Martell and this girl when the world found out. Whatever, Cedric. Anyway, so next, Martell and Mel go see the baby. They went to go see I believe it's called the 3D ultrasound of the baby, and Mel mom is there, and the baby is so cute. And they're like, who the baby look like? And Martell's like, the baby look like me. The baby is so cute. All their children, to me, is the perfect blend of Mel and Martell. You know how some families, the baby look just like the dad, or the baby look just like the mom. Their children, to me, is the perfect blend. Instead of that boy, that little boy, straight up Martell, baby. Straight up. Now, you can see Melanie probably up in here, but straight up Martell, especially to the side. But their babies is the perfect blend of them. Just beautiful, beautiful children. And so Martell takes the kids to go use the restroom before they leave. And Mel mom is also there. Excuse me. And she's basically, checking in on her daughter, making sure that her daughter is okay. Because as you know, at the end of season 1, and they had the reunion, Mel was pregnant. And this is the same pregnancy. So it's not that long ago. Okay? And she was showing pregnant. So, Mel mom is there checking in on her daughter, saying, I see you and Martell seem like y'all, working things out. Are you sure? That's basically what she wants to know. She wants to make sure, are you sure you're good? And so Mel basically told her, Mom, yeah, I'm good. And it was good to see that little moment. It really, really was. But it just made me really think about Mel and her dad. And I really do hope that they get their relationship together. And so the next scene that we go to is Mel is planning her baby shower, the end of the baby shower. They're like at the end details of it. And the people that's helping her with her baby shower, I forgot their names. That's so disrespectful. Please comment down below, because it was a beautiful, beautiful baby shower. If you guys remember the name of the production or the people that helped her, beautiful, beautiful baby shower. Good company, and they need to be recognized. But anyway, they were basically going over the guest list. And so Mel called Kimmy to make sure that Kimmy and her husband, what's his name? Maurice? Is it Maurice? Yeah, it's Maurice. Maurice Scotts. The Scotts. It's two Scotts. It's the good Scotts and the bad Scotts. So this is the good Scotts. I love Kimmy. Kimmy is also my favorite character. Well, my favorite person. It's not character, but my favorite person on this show so far. I only have two favorite people. And that is Mel and Kimmy. And so she calls Kimmy to make sure that Kimmy is coming to the baby shower. Kimmy is like, yeah, we come to the baby shower. Hell, we want cake and food too. And so she's like, cool. But then Kimmy go ahead and start hitting around about if Tisha and Marcel is coming. Now, if you don't know who Tisha and Marcel is, if you have never seen Love and Marriage Huntsville, Tisha and Mel do not get along. To me, Tisha, I've always felt that Tisha was messy and that she low-key was jealous and hated on Mel, and I still do, because she is married to a man that feel like he's still way back in the days where a woman should be what? Pregnant, barefooted in the kitchen, and Mel is doing her thing, and she has a husband that supports her as far as like, you know, the business side go, because regardless of what went on between Mel and Martell, the business side, they kept that going, baby, and they had each other back when it came with that. They just did. And I just feel like Tisha was always been like a little bit jealous of Mel, and it ain't nothing that you can say or do that can make me change my mind. And they're just a messy couple. And even Marcel seems like, to me, and I still believe that he has cheated on Tisha. It hasn't came out yet, but I just feel like that he's still, that, you know, that it may have happened. Now, is he still doing it? No. Did he carry on a relationship like Martell did with this girl? Maybe not. But I do feel like whenever Martell do want a little freaky deaky on the side, freaky deaky, Lord Jesus, freaky nookie on the side, he does get out there and do it, because he seemed like he's just, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Because in season 1, when the hint came out that Marceau, my bad, his name is Marceau, Tisha, husband name is Marceau. When it came out that Marceau was cheating on Tisha, who be hating on Mel, she asked her husband, and he was like, I can't answer that. And it was just crazy how he responded to that. I don't know. It's just, child, I don't know. And at the end of the day, it's her and her husband business. But yeah, so anyway, back to the phone call. Mel called Kimmy to see if Kimmy is coming to the baby shower. Kimmy says yes, and she hits around if Tisha and Marceau is also invited, or if they're coming. And so at that point, Mel is telling her, no, hell no, they ain't coming. Not, they better not even sit their ass in the parking lot, even pass by and take a picture of the building, bitch. So anyway, the next scene is Martell is at his counselor. He went to go visit his counselor. This counselor right here is the business. Like, seriously, I have went to counseling before about something very personal, and maybe one day I will. It's not a story time. This is not a story time, but maybe I would do like an open book or something. I don't know. I'm gonna call it something, but it's not gonna be open book, because I already know somebody gonna look at this and steal that. But anyway, maybe I'll talk about it. But and she was a damn good counselor. Don't get me wrong. She was a damn good counselor and helped me out a lot. But this counselor right here, baby, gets you in the nitty gritty. Okay, he needs his own show. So anyway, him and Martell is talking, and Martell reveals about how he noticed that a lot of things in his life affect him because his dad is not a part of his life. And so his counselor, and I forgot the counselor name too. God dog. Y'all comment down below the counselor name. But anyway, the counselor talks about, you know, do you feel like things would be different if your dad was a part of your life? And like things would be better. And Martell is like, no. And I get where Martell and the counselor is coming from, because by my dad not being a part of my life, I feel like that I'm good, because I feel like if he wasn't a part of my life, I wouldn't have the mindset, the positive mindset, the strong mindset, and even a negative mindset that I have that makes me the woman that I am today, which is a very, very good woman that makes mistakes, but trust me, I have learned from my mistakes and kept it moving and doing very, very well for myself. And so that's basically what Martell was saying. But the counselor was like, no, you really have to think about it, because he could have shown you things. He could have taught you things that, you know, could have made your life better. And so what Martell was basically saying was, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I can't judge something off of something that I didn't experience. So I completely understand where Martell is coming from and where the counselor is coming from. It was just a good counseling session. I feel I was right up in there. I was like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It was a very, very good counseling session. If you don't see no other part of the show, watch that part of the show, which comes right before the what? The baby shower. So it is baby shower day. You see beautiful Kimmy and her husband, Maurice. I like Maurice, but Maurice has a good heart. Maurice has a good ideals. He's a good man. He's faithful. I cannot see Maurice cheating on Kimmy at all. But just the way that Maurice go by things sometimes is completely thrown off. Or he doesn't really do the detail work. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get into that in a minute. So you see them walk up and everybody is like in front. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a line inside? Hell no. They all standing outside. In host grand fashion, here come the hosts on this nice horse and carriage with their children. They already have 3. They have 2 girls and a boy, and then the little girl is in the oven. And so anyway, they come in this horse and carriage, and they're just so beautiful. And I love the way Martell and Mel was just smiling, and how it reminds them of when they got married, how they left in a horse and carriage. This time around, they're in a horse and carriage. They're with not just 3, but 4, like Martell said, of their children, because the 4th one is in the oven. And it's so beautiful. And they go inside, and everybody see the decorations and everything is just beautiful. And at this point, we are reminded of a couple that was actually introduced to us in season 1, the end of season 1, which is named Destiny and LeBerick Williams. They didn't say or do too much at the end of season 1. We were just kind of introduced to them. I didn't know for sure if that was just Martin. Now, I knew LeBerick was Martell homeboy, but it just, they wasn't really introduced all the way in season 1. Beautiful couple, by the way. And baby, LeBerick, the husband, was in charge of the prayer, and he was one of those that, you know how some people, they'll say a line and they'll say amen, or they'll say Jesus, or they'll say Lord, and they'll say another line and they'll say amen, Jesus the Lord. He did that throughout the whole prayer. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. And Destiny was in charge of the games. And so far everybody's having fun. Everybody is eating and enjoying themselves. And the camera zooms over to who? The mothers. Martell and Mel mother. Oh my goodness. So they're sitting there talking. And Mel mother, you know, she's checking things out. And I get to see Mel and her mom. Mel and her mom is like twin sisters, okay? They are twin sisters, just twin sisters. And so they're basically talking about how, you know, their kids is working things out. And Martell mom is like, yeah, just like I said, you just leave them alone and they're going to work it out. They're going to work it out, which I completely understand where both of the moms is coming from. Sometimes you just have to let couples be couples and let them work it out. You know, you can talk to them, you can step in, you can say this, you can say that, but sometimes you just got to let them work it out. And so Mel mom let it be known that she had several conversations with Martell. And Martell did understand where she was coming from. And Martell mom was like, several conversations. Like she wanted to say, you had what's with my son? But it was all good. It was all good. I'm sure she's going to go back and talk to Martell, find out what this conversation is about. And those two, even though it was a kind of an odd scene, even if it was something thrown off, those two mother-in-laws seem like they're the type where they can call each other and discuss it and clear the air and keep it moving. So I really, really love their mothers. Kudos to their mothers. But baby, that part when Martell mama was eating that food and Mel mama wasn't eating the food, child. Mel mama just had that look on her face like, Nook, give your book. Wow, Nook, give your book. Not toward Martell mom, but just anybody. Nook, give your book, honey. I love them too. I completely understand. And so it goes back to Mel. The scene goes back to Mel and Destiny. Mel and Destiny, they take a moment to just to themselves. And Destiny is sitting there, and she has this look on her face. You can tell she wants to tell Mel something, and Mel is telling her how she's doing a good job with hosting and everything. And Mel is like, am I really? And she's like, yeah, girl. And so Mel went ahead and, you know, revealed to Destiny went ahead and revealed to Mel that she was 9 weeks pregnant, which is such a beautiful thing. And we later noticed it once later on in the show when she was standing up, and you can see her, you know, kind of her belly kind of sticking out in her outfit. Now she's 9 months pregnant. If y'all go back and look at that, she is 9 months pregnant. They gotta be twins or triplets. I'm just saying, and I'm here for it. Come on, Destiny. So anyway, Kimmy and Mel is over by the gifts, and they're talking, and of course Kimmy brings up the Scotts. If you haven't noticed by now, and I guess I should have said at the earlier part of the show, you have the Holtz, which is Mel and Martell, and then you have the brothers, Maurice, who is married to Kimmy, and Marceau, who is married to Tisha. So Kimmy and Mel is talking, and Kimmy brings up the conversation and the topic of the other Scotts, which is Tisha and Marceau. So obviously, y'all, Tisha had reached out to Mel and apologized and was talking about how they, I guess, need to get everything back in order, whatever. And then 6 weeks later, baby, Tisha was all on Twitter talking all crazy, posting things about Mel, just stupid stuff. And there's supposed to be a sex tape that's supposed to be out there that Marceau has or know about or know how to get to or have seen about Mel mom. Now, if it is, and if that is true, Marceau, Mr. Perfect, why in the hell are you gonna let this lady sex tape? And if she have one, who gives a damn? Okay, but don't put her business out there. That right there is just off limits. When you're in twine with somebody, you don't talk about the kids, you don't talk about the parents, you talk about you two. Especially, I mean, you two. They're just hitting below the bullet. That part of the Scotts, I just can't get with. But anyway, Kimmy and Mel talk about it, and Mel made it very clear to Kimmy that when they hang out, when Kimmy and Mel hang out, it's about Kimmy and Mel. We're not about to discuss Tisha, Tasha. We're not about to discuss Marceau. We're not about to discuss them up over there. We about us. And Kimmy agreed to it. But Kimmy is a peacemaker. And even though she agreed to it now, I'm sure she's going to try her damnness to try to bring everybody back together. I just love Kimmy. I didn't like her at first. I'm going to be honest with you. But the more and more they kept showing Kimmy, and the more and more things was revealed about Kimmy in season 1, I really, really love Kimmy. Kimmy was a single mother raising a beautiful, handsome son. And she went through a lot. You could tell that she struggled. And she went through a lot. I'm about to cry thinking about Kimmy. Kimmy went through a lot. And it's like as if she finally found the love of her life. And she married the love of her life. But she still doesn't feel like he puts her. This is like in season 1 now. I don't know. Hopefully now he has realized what he's doing. But towards season 1, we start to find out that Kimmy doesn't feel like that Maurice, her husband, puts her as his first priority, especially now that they're married. That he puts his son in front of her. And even in season 1, y'all, this mofo had the nerve, okay? Now, his baby mama, he has a son that he had because he was married once before to this crazy woman. You can tell she crazy. Anyway. But now he got it right. He married to Kimmy. He got it right. So anyway, the woman lives up north somewhere, and so they live in Huntsville, Alabama. He had the audacity to buy this woman or pay off a house or whatever for this woman to move down so he could be closer to his son without even discussing it with Kimmy. That was just wrong. But anyway, we're in season 2. Hopefully, it will be revealed that he has worked that part out, and him and Kimmy is better because you better treat my girl right. So anyway, Destiny walks up and she wants to speak to Kimmy. And so Mel walks off with her little cute stuff. I just love it. So Mel and Kimmy, I just love it too. Mel walks off. And so Destiny is basically talking to Kimmy. And you can tell this is like kind of, Destiny, you kind of throwing me off. I like you, Destiny. You're a beautiful woman. You're 9 months pregnant. I think you have twins or triplets, which I'm all here for. It better be twins or triplets. I'm all here boy. No, it better be just a healthy baby. But